Hi guys, Bella here. It's been about a week since my last video, which is great in my track record. So I'm hoping to keep it up and make my videos a little bit more regularly. Last week I had mentioned that I was signing up for therapy through Kaiser, and I had my appointment. And I'm not going to get into a ton of detail here because I don't want this to be a really, really long video. But if you do want a little bit more detail about what the appointment was like and what I learned, because I learned a ton of stuff about myself just from the one session, you can go to my blog, which is on my channel, the link. It's just bellaonthebeach.wordpress.com if you care to go there and read it. But basically, just a few things came out. My therapist, let me just start with that, is a really nice man, very down to earth, very easy to talk to, makes me feel very comfortable. And I really like that he talks about his own struggles with food and issues around food, which I guess makes it kind of interesting. I don't know, it's kind of nice to have someone that you feel like you can relate to them, and they're not just being like a clinician, but they're actually being like a real person. I like that. And basically, I think I'm going to be having the sessions about once a month or once every couple of weeks, like every 3 weeks or so, which is great. It's definitely something I can afford. It's doable in terms of my schedule. And I really, like I said, got a lot out of the last meeting. A couple of things were that he told me, I'll just give you a couple of highlights. He said that he really wants me to not make it so all or nothing in terms of my food plan. He said that he really wants me to put scheduled treats. So basically, once a week or so to schedule a treat, something that I can look forward to, but that I allow myself to have. And he gave the example that for him, he really likes blizzards from Dairy Queen. And so once a week, he allows himself to have a small blizzard from Dairy Queen. And it's not cheating because it's part of his already scheduled food, which I really liked that idea. I thought that was really good, and I thought that for me that would take away a lot of the power of like being a bad food, and that's something else that got uncovered for me. Like I definitely have issues with saying some foods are bad and others are good, and just like this whole idea of like secret eating, and then we also discovered that I eat out of, like, I guess it's out of emotion, but in general, it was interesting to find out that it's out of, like, he said passion. In other words, like, when I'm having a really great day, I like to celebrate and eat. Sometimes when I, like, get paid, because I only get paid once a month, and sometimes when I get paid, it's kind of like, oh, I got paid. Let me go and buy a bunch of stuff that I haven't had for a long time. Let me go do that. Sometimes it's like I'm bored, and so I'll eat. Sometimes it's when I'm stressed. So it's all different reasons, but it's all around emotions, but also like passion. I don't know. It was kind of interesting for him to say it like that. So anyway, I'm interested to see like what else we discover, but I really liked the idea of having like a scheduled treat, like he said. And he said, really, you should make every day have at least one thing that you're eating that you look forward to, so that it's not just like this big bonanza at the end of the week, but that every day there's like something you enjoy about your food. He talked about this other group that he holds that it's called mindful eating, and I thought that was really, really interesting. I've heard a couple people talking about that lately, and just eating with more mindfulness, being aware of what you're eating, and really, I guess, getting a lot of like passion, or a lot of, not passion, a lot of enjoyment out of the food that you're eating, rather than just like kind of gobbling it down and not really paying attention. And I'm not somebody who eats fast. Like I definitely take my time when I eat, but I'm sure that there are things and times that I could be more mindful of my food. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I wanted to find out a little bit more about it. Okay, so that's the therapy thing. I'm going to continue. I go to see him again at the end of the month, and I think it's going to be an interesting process. So so far so good, which is great. The other thing I wanted to talk about is that I'm doing pretty well on the 1,200 calories a day, 12 to 1,300. I've been sticking to that pretty well, and then allowing myself one of the days of the weekend to go more like between 14 and 1,600, and that's kind of in my way of doing like the scheduled treat, because I don't want to say like, oh, I'm going to have like a blizzard every single week, because there's nothing like that I really would want week to week, like the same exact thing. You know, sometimes it'll be like I really want a glass or two of wine. Other times it would be something sweet. Other times it might be salami or cheese, you know, something like that. So I want to leave it open to allow me to really choose whatever it is that I feel like having that day. Okay. And yet knowing that it's all kind of worked into the program, especially if I'm working out a little bit extra and stuff like that. So the other thing is that I have stopped weighing myself weekly, just because I don't know, I instead of making it like every week, every time I get on the scale, I put my weight in to lose it. So I get on the scale every couple of days and I'll just record it then. So it's like sometimes it's, you know, down 0.6 and then down 1.8 and then down 0.2 and then up 0.4, you know, or whatever. And I'm just recording all those little times. And then I'm going to start recording my actual, like making a post about my weight once a month. And I decided to do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I was kind of putting a lot of pressure on myself on Wednesdays. I don't know, it started to get a little bit too much. And then the second reason is I report my weight to Kaiser once a month, and so I figured as long as I'm doing these like almost daily or at least a couple times a week check-ins on the scale and I'm recording it on Lose It, so I am making a record of gains and losses, there's really no reason that I need to make a weekly report on my blog or on here in terms of my weight. So that's the way I'm working that. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was a little bit of a change to my food plan. Even though I'm doing really well on the 1200, when I went to the last weight loss support group, they all said, you know, girl, just do whatever you need to do to get to the goal weight. Do whatever you need to do. And so I kind of thought about that a little more, and I really think that, I decided that I am going to do my own version of MetaFast starting September 1st. So I'm going to give myself the rest of August. School starts for me on Monday, and that always brings with it lots of crazy times. I already had to go into school today, and I'm going tomorrow, and I'm going to be going in again on Friday. So it's already getting busy. My schedule's getting a little hectic. So I wanted to give me a couple of weeks of just like eating normal food, not really worrying about it. Still sticking to 1200 though, not going above 1200, but just eating food and enjoying the last little bits of summer fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. And then beginning September 1st, I'm going to start my own version, like I said, of MetaFast and eating these things, which are found at Costco, and they're the Premier Nutrition. Let me get a little bit closer so I don't know if you can see that. Premier Nutrition Protein. And this is a ready to drink chocolate shake. It just comes in this little container. This container is 11 ounces. And let me read you the nutrition. So for this container, one shake is 160 calories, 3 grams of fat, 5 carbohydrates, which is really low, 3 fibers, 1 sugar, and 30 grams of protein, which is a ton. So these are going to be the shakes. I'm going to have 3 of these a day, and then I'm going to have 1 bar. Now the bars are a little more fattening, so let me see. The bar is 270 calories, 6 grams of fat, 26 of carbohydrates, 2 fibers, 9 sugars, but still 30 protein. So still a lot of protein. So the plan is to have 3 shakes and 1 bar. And that, let me just, sorry, I thought I had the calculation, and you guys, I don't know, you guys may or may not know this about me. I am no math whiz at all. That's why I teach English. But so 160 times 3 is 480 plus 280 is 760 calories. That's just for the day. And then I'm going to do the like lean and green meal like I used to do with MetaFast. And so lean and green meant that you have vegetables and you had protein. And so you're basically taking out like any starchy carb like rice or pasta or something like that, bread. So you just eat the meat and the vegetable. And that can be a salad, it can be kale, it can be, it's endless. And so usually my dinner like that would be around 350 calories or so. So that makes it the total for the day 1100 or so. Some days it'll be 1,000, some days it'll be 1,200. And some of you might think to yourself, well, I mean, you're already eating 1,200 now, why are you going to switch? The reason is doing it like this is low carb because they are it's fewer carbs in the day. So basically, I mean, I'd probably be eating less than 50 carbs for sure a day, for sure, less than 50 carbs. And I'll lose weight fast. And it's, and then the point is, I've done it before and I gained weight a little bit back. But the thing is, once I qualify for the weight loss surgery, I don't necessarily have to even keep losing for those 6 weeks. I mean, yes, it would be nice to keep losing in between the time I qualify and the time that I get my surgery. Yes, of course, it would be great to keep losing. But all they require you to do is to maintain that weight loss. So when I get down to 266, I just have to maintain it for the 6 weeks, and I can do that. I mean, even if I go over a little bit, I can still go back to a couple of days of the bars and stuff and the shakes, and I'll lose, right? So when I'm doing this shake and bar thing, what I decided, because of the whole scheduled treat and not going like hardcore, like the therapist recommended, I am going to do these 5 days a week. And then on the weekends, I'm going to have just 1,200 calories of regular food. And then one day of the weekend, still like I'm doing now, I'm going to let myself go up to 14 to 1,600 calories. And so I think that's going to work for me because I'm staying really low carb during the week. I'm allowing myself a little bit of carb on, like, let's say Sunday, and then on Saturday, maybe that's the big day. And I'm not saying I'm going to drink, have a lot of carbs, but if I drink a glass of wine, that has carbs in it, So, but kind of like, on South Beach, when you do the phase 2, you're allowed to have some carbs. So I'm doing it like in a couple of days rather than every day. But for me, and knowing myself and knowing what works best for me to just like take the weight off, this is going to work. So I'm looking forward to doing that. In addition, I'm still going to work out, and like today, excuse me, actually last 2 days, I haven't worked out, and I feel kind of crappy about that, but stuff's been going on, like yesterday, excuse me, yesterday, Sophie, my dog, got spayed, and so she had, big operation. So it's kind of running back and forth with her and then just taking care of her, and I didn't really, there could have been time I could have probably fit in working out. I went for a small walk with my sister's dog. I took my sister's dog for a walk, but I didn't really count that. And then today I had to go into school, and I was just really tired by the time I got home because I woke up at 5:30 this morning, and it's excuses. It's only 6 o'clock tonight. I could still go to the gym, but I'm just being honest, I'm probably not. So that's the thing I'm trying to say, that in addition to the shakes and like really being good about the food, I need to stay good about the exercise too. So I'm going to start that tomorrow. Today was just kind of like transition for me, and then tomorrow I really can get back to it, I feel like, because I'll be used to it. It won't be the first day of like waking up really early again. So that's the plan anyway. Just wanted to keep you guys updated. I hope everyone is doing really well. Sorry about the lighting. It seems like really weird. Like I have the blinds closed because it's sunny outside and I have the light on above. I don't know if you can see me or not see me. Like, I don't know. Anyway, good enough. You can hear me anyway. I hope everybody is doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.